Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our second episode of Voices and Choices. I'm your host, Benny Nakachinda.
And I am Kelly Kantumoya.
All right, before we get into our session today, I would just like to extend our gratitude to all our followers, all our viewers, and we want to say thank you and keep sharing our content as we keep growing together and learning more from other people.
Yeah, thank you to everybody that's following on YouTube. Thank you to everybody that's following us on TikTok and IG. Please keep on subscribing, and we'll delve straight into introducing our guest. Benny.
Yeah. So we have a very special guest today. This is somebody I've known for many years, and this is the man behind the amazing amazing teas accessories that you're seeing today. You know, he's been the guy who's been, pushing us in the good and looking good in the past year or two. Yeah. Aside from that, he's got 2 Airbnbs, and aside from that,
He's a graduate lawyer that has been admitted to an advocate for the High Court. An advocate for the High Court. He's the founder and owner of Mbuta Prestige and House of CMA. And this guest is none other than our brother Chile Mbuta. Welcome.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, glad to have you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we'll delve straight into our discussion today.
Okay.
So, like Benny mentioned in the email, we've been following you for quite some time.
Yeah.
And Voices and Choices is basically a platform where we're empowering better voices to empower better choices. So we're trying to present to the world and to our nation, young people in our country that are doing marvelous things, and we're trying to reflect the light on them. So Chile Mbuta, everybody knows you, CMA, everybody knows House of CMA, everybody knows you as the entrepreneur. But who's Chile from Chile's eyes?
That's an interesting question. Okay, so Chile is just okay. I'll just basically break down myself.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my name's Chile Sinkambuta.
Yeah.
I'm a lawyer. Yeah, that's my primary profession. I studied law at the University of Lusaka and got admitted to the Zambian bar last year in November.
Congratulations for that, bro.
Thank you. And yeah, I'm just an explorer. I've been diverse throughout, I think, my whole life. I've been, I'm inquisitorial, so I like to explore so many things, So I was glued to the legal profession, but out of curiosity, I decided, no, let me just try business, and yeah, it's worked. And I think that's just a summary of who I am. I'm just someone who very inquisitive and, just wants to explore, basically, So yeah, that's how I would break down myself,
You're beautiful. I like how you put it, an inquisitorial person. Would you call yourself a creative?
Yes, very much.
So who inspires the art behind your creativity? Do you have particular artists that you look up to, mentors or such?
Okay, so when I was starting my journey, there's a person that I used to look up to, Virgil Abloh. He was the one in the clothing space at the time. So just go, watch his videos on YouTube. He was my indirect mentor. He didn't know I was his mentee, but obviously, and those people that you just watch and they're like, this guy.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, he was that guy, and I feel like there's something that he said in one of the interviews. Back then in I was creative around clothing at the time, right? But there's something that he said: if you're creative, don't limit it to one thing. Explore your creativeness in different aspects. And ever since I got that, I have been seeing that my creativity hasn't only been to clothes alone. It's just been to everything. Even the way, let's say, I used to edit videos then, because I used to edit my videos for my brands. and also even the way I've done deco for the shop, because even for the shop I was the interior designer.
Nice.
Wow.
You know, so it's a thing
Nice.
where, you know, people would come like who did your shop? You know, like, oh, it's me. You know, they'll be shocked. You know, so you know, it's something that I decided to look into. And after I did my house, like the Airbnb one, it's something where people were like people kept on asking me like, who did this also? You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's me. And I just actually thought, you know, I can actually explore this talent, or you know, the creativity around doing houses, like the interior and exterior, and just all the aspects of you know, the finishing of houses. And yeah, so far it's been good, and it's not only towards that, but there are a lot of things that I'm creative towards. Even when I was working in the legal profession,
Yeah.
at the time, you know, even just the way I used to do my work, like I don't like working hard, I like working smart. So if I'm living around, let's say, doing just these normal office duties, you know, it's like I'm finding creative ways to like cut the timeline. Like, let's say if something's supposed to take me 2 hours, I don't want to wait for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'll try to find a way to make it 45 minutes, because my attention span is short. So I have to find a way to like achieve that within my attention span, you know. So like I think it's just been it's been there throughout everything I do. So yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and obviously I can attest to some of the creativeness even from our time growing up. Because obviously Chilisha was a guy who was a bit ahead from everybody else. Chilo have like this cool speaker, and like, where do you get this from? You know, he was always found his way to get ahead and see how best he can, you know, work with that. And you know, as we're looking at it, I want to find out, at what point did you find, when was the tipping point? When did you realize to say, oh, I think I can go ahead and try to make a brand out of clothing, your interest in clothing, and at what point did you see you can twist that and make it into something that will become an empire? Sorry.
Okay, so for me it was the turning point was 2020. Yeah. So you remember how it was in high school?
Yeah.
You know, just you know, you come with stuff from Osaka, this side, like guys from Livingstone, they don't have, let's say, Mr. Price, because Mr. Price wasn't in Livingstone.
No, it wasn't. I think they had to go to Namibia. Right?
Hey, so you find you bring this show, the show was like it, you know what I mean, and then they're like, Mike, that show, you know what I mean. Obviously, you're in high school, and there's that superior
the hierarchy.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll be like, I can't overprice it because it's a Sogo, you know. If you know, if the deal goes sour, I'll be bullied or whatever, you know. So it's like I always used to get gongered out of those deals, but it was interesting anyway, regardless, because let's say you exchange a shoe for, maybe you get a damaged phone or whatever. That's how it is.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, it was something that used to, you know, something that used to ignite it back then. But like I never took it as, let me take this thing, you know. So like in 2020, because people used to just tell, no, your clothes are nice, you know, like the way you dress and all that stuff, you know. So like they always used to reach out to me like, oh no, how should I dress? How should I, you know? That was people in uni and all. So I was just like, you know, let me just start a brand, you know. And at the time, you know, it sounded crazy because I was in my room. I was like, you know, I really didn't want to be the same with everyone. I wanted to be different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the idea just came, and then I was like, you know, where do I even start from? So I called a few friends of mine. I explained the idea. They thought I was crazy, you know what I mean? Like I'm explaining, like, no, I'll design like this and all. And a lot of people at the time didn't understand the vision. They thought I'll just be like, you know how these guys that print Chilanga, Mulilo, teas, you know, like they thought it's just going to be like that. But like the vision was actually to become like, let's say, these big high-end brands like Off-White, you know, Palm Angels, like that, all these, you know, streetwear brands. Yeah. So initially that's what I wanted. So I kept on explaining to people. People thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
In the beginning, and even just the way, and I told myself I'll just go for it, you know what I mean? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You know, it's better you try than living in regret, like, oh, you know. So starting it initially required a lot of capital, but like prior to me starting my brand, I tried several businesses, and the business that I did the year before, actually 2018, involved me and my brother getting a loan from my parents, yeah, to like, because we're already all entrepreneurs in our family, you know what I mean? So it's that thing where, okay, I was seeing dad do it, I mean, let's try. My brother was doing it also with other companies, so there's this big one that came up, and it involved one of these parastatals, and you know, when you're doing parastatals, you know, it's good money and all.
Yeah.
That's how he used me and said, you know, let's actually do this together, you know. Let's look for funding. Let's try to go to mom.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's how we went to mom. We talked to her, you know, and then she was like, oh, okay, cool. Then she said, okay, I'll talk to your dad. So I talked, and then they gave us the money, and then was supposed to supply stationery and paper and all that stuff to the same parastatal. And then I remember we even used to meet with the procurement guy in the same parastatal. I don't know, just come, you know, like everything was just, you know, certain. You know, you even say counting profits, like, I know when the money comes, you know, I'm buying this car, because you mean by that time your money is your mind is small, and for you it's like, when this money comes, I'll just buy a car. But you know, with buying a car, you have to consider servicing, you know, like all those things. For us, it was just, oh, I buy a car, I'm still in uni, you know, I'll look cool, you know, that stuff. So yeah, we decided to buy the stationery. Things didn't go well. It was scammed. All that money went, you know. So it's something where now, you know, obviously going to like semi-depression. For me, it was my first big deal, right?
Yeah.
For my brother, it was like, you know, he was used to those kinds of things, and that never happened in his business, you know, career. So it's something where he felt like he lost it all. You get what I mean? But on my end, it was more of like, okay, these things happen, let's try again. You know what I mean? But for him, you know, the pressure was going to be him because he's my older brother. So like the whole issue of my parents coming down our throats, like, oh, you have lost our money, you know, it's going to be him.
Yeah.
For me, because I'm younger, so for him, he was looking at it from all that, you know, from that point of view. For me, it was more like, it's fair, let's go to the next one. You know what I mean? So I remember I used to like cheer him, like, bro, let's just, you know, we can still do this, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was a lifting moment. So sorry, I just gave that to give you a backstory so that I can explain, you know, the main thing. So to test the idea, I had to start locally with what I had, basically, because, you know, getting huge money to like test the market, that's a crazy risk. So I had to went to Kamala. I went to Kamala, checked how much prices of like t-shirts were, you know, and these guys who used to print, asked them how much the pricing was, you know, that stuff. That's how I went to my parents. I was like, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
So when they saw me, they were like, the money that, you know, the money that you lost, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, you know, it's like, for me, I was very optimistic. I was like, to work. Then they're like, okay, we only have your tuition money, you know, and I was in 4th year. We only have your tuition money. So if you're getting this, you know, this is your tuition money, just know that. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't work, forget about school. you know African parents.
Yeah, give it good ultimatum. Yeah.
Exactly. So they thought as if that was going to stop me and say, oh, no, I've thought about it, I thought, okay, give me the word. So that's how they sent me the money. So I had to work hard, like I had to make sure, like to prove to them, you know what I mean? That's how they gave me my tuition money. And then I went to use it. I bought the teas, I bought the material to actually print on the teas and all that stuff. So like I covered like 50 teas. Yeah. And then after that, I was being like, how do I start from, like showing people that I'm doing this, you know what I mean? And I feel like for me, I don't have money, I don't care, like, you know?
Yeah.
Like I can reach out to you and tell you, I'm selling this, you have to buy because you're my friend, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I said, like I made a BC you know, like, okay, not a BC per se, but like I got a certain template, attached each one's name to it.
Yeah.
So if I'm texting you Benny,
Yeah.
it's going to have that. If I'm texting you Kelly, it's going to have your name. You understand? But it's the same message.
Yeah.
That's why I started texting everyone on my contact list. And then some people interested, oh, can I see the designs? And at the time I didn't even know how to use Photoshop, so it's like I just like get the tea, color of the tea, I just put a picture on top of it, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is how your shirt will look, or it will have the, let's say, Nicki Minaj album art cover, like, because that's how I was trying to test the market, you know what I mean? So, I mean, at the time it was working, so people made orders, you know, without paying. Some were willing to pay, some were saying, oh no, when it's done, I'll pay. You know, so it was custom to specific. Like, so if you tell me you want Travis Scott on your tee, I'll do Travis Scott on your tee.
Yeah.
You understand? So it was quite specific, you know.
And the name tag, yeah?
Yeah, with the name. So like for me, I wanted to be different. So like I put some name tag and then I'll put specially made for, let's say Kelly, specially made for Benny. So like it's something where you can walk around and you know you're like, oh, this is actually mine. You know, so yeah, you know, when you know back then anyway, when you're starting in business, when someone tells you, I'll buy, bro, you believe, you count like a sale, but like that's not actually what it is. I don't advise anyone to like count that as a sale until you receive the money, and that's when you can say it's a sale. Like at the time anyway, I got people, they told me no, yeah, we'll buy, all that stuff. So like at the time, I did all those teas. And I remember 35 went in the first week. Right? And in the first week. And then I had like 10 that were just, you know, those people that said, oh, I'll buy, and then they just go quiet, you know what I mean? So I had those also, you know, but that didn't stop me. I still found that people had to buy the same stuff. I just had to convince people like, oh no, but Travis, this album art cover is actually cool. Because you know, when you're a businessman, when you're a salesperson, you have to convince someone that they need what you're selling.
Yeah.
You don't have to, no, but you can get it, but you know, like, so if you come to my shop and you want to buy shades, I'll tell you everything looks good on you. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you have to be. You have to be very aggressive. You know, so that's how I did it. And I saw the teas within 2-3 weeks. I told my parents, I made the money. Here's the fees. And then there was profit of the teas. So the profit of the teas, I know this is not part of the question that you asked me, but the profit of the teas, I was like, you know what's trending now? What can I invest this money into? And then at the time there was these denim jackets. Denim jackets were a thing for guys especially, and they're hard to find. That's how I tried to find someone. No, okay, what can I get? I actually hit up Stain. Remember Stain?
Yeah, it's quite okay.
So Stain was in India. So he told me, oh, there's a denim jacket that I got. It was Black Friday. I got it at let's say 80 kwacha, Zambia equivalent. It's a good deal, but I mean if I get it at 80, I resell it at let's say 200, I'm still okay. You understand? But that was during COVID time, so we couldn't really do much because India had like their COVID there was crazy because of their population. People were dying, and also it's like we couldn't really trade. So even the shops where they used to go, you know, that stuff, they couldn't really like, you know, buy. So I was left with no choice but to go and ask locally, and then I was told, I just got service, you know, you can buy a bill. I never knew what a bill was. I was like, what's a bill? You know, I know these things, what you find 80 to 100 pieces inside. I was like, that's a good deal. How much is the bill? 3-5. Okay, I know it's just part of the profit. Anyway, let me just go and buy a bill. You know what I mean? So I went into town. I went to places where they sell bills and all. And then I asked the guy, I was like, I want the bill denim jackets for guys. Then he was like, no. So you got one, and he just pulled one jacket out, and it was a guy's jacket. I was like, this is that.
This is the one.
I bought it. So I got it. I'm reaching home. We opened the bill, bro. So that jacket, that was the only guy's jacket. I mean, so I now have women's products, you know. So, you know, appetite selector, it even went. I was like, again, you know, like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And then you know it's a bill. You have opened, you can't take it back.
Yeah, you can't take it back.
The game is the game.
What
It's
is that
happened,
fair?
long as, bro. It's like people just look at you like, my guy, you're bored.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. So now, I think, how am I going to tell these things? You know what I mean? I try to force people in the family, like, buy.
Yeah.
They're looking at me because that's not their style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like for ladies, they've always had their jackets, so it wasn't really something that they felt the need to buy at the time. So I remember my auntie, the house help, she was like, okay, need to support you, I'll buy. That's how she bought. You know, she supported me. She was the first customer. And my young sister also bought. The same night I opened the bill.
Yeah.
They could tell, teach this boy is going to deposit. You know what I mean? Like it's touched him. That's how. The next day I was like, how are you into all these things? And then Sally's, you know what I mean? So I went to Northmead, somewhere near Northmead. There's a road in Northmead somewhere there where we just parked the car beside, opened the boot, wrote on the cheap paper, denim jackets for sale. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was with Timmy, my brother, my cousin, but yeah, my brother.
Yeah.
And then I was feeling shy, you know what I mean? I was feeling, because I was Chile, the guy who was selling those teas.
Yeah.
Just cool teas.
Exactly, and then now I'm Chile, the guy who's selling thrift
Veins on the road.
behind. Exactly. So I was feeling shy. It's like, my chick, don't feel shy. You have been going and make your money back, you know what I mean? So that's how you go stand on the road, you see a nice car, you think maybe it's one of the people that you sold to, you hide, you know what I mean? So there's that, and also the fact that I think previously, prior to that, there's a Don't Rush challenge that we did. There's that, you know that challenge that we
Yeah,
did?
I remember.
So I remember I got a lot of clout and all that stuff, so I was feeling shy, like, these people that saw me on IG, you know, they should see me selling these things on the road.
Yeah.
It's my one, exactly, bro. So, you know, but I just thought, you know what, but those guys want, I remember, I don't know when Chef dropped his album, Bon Appetit.
Yeah.
But that song that he did, I think it's Walam Wenam or something like that. Yeah, so I just used to listen to that song and it was just like, you know what, those guys are not going to feed you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just had to suck it up and start selling, bro. So I remember on the roadside there, we had no sale. We parked there for like an hour 30, and people were coming. Oh, I thought they were for guys. You know. So it even used to touch me even more because it's like, if these were for guys, exactly.
Yeah, you had the market but not the product.
Exactly. So I went to Kalingalinga after that. Tried selling. There's a lady from Zaf who came. She bought 5.
Yeah.
You know, so I was happy. I was like, okay, at least they're moving. And they had 60. You know, so I was down to like 50. Let's say 48.
Yeah.
Sorry, 53. Somewhere 53. And then after that, I was like, okay, cool. The next day, I went to Garden. I started by where Young Pharaohs is there, where Garden Police is there. And you know, the dumb thing is that I never knew that there's DAP. Or I used to ask myself, what's DAP?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? But DAP is like where all these people go. I went to park, so I went to park near DAP and I was like, I'm selling these jackets, you know. 50 kwacha what? And then the ladies around were just looking at me like, this guy, he didn't know that there's DAP. Something I never even knew, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I heard them speaking in the native language. I looked behind, I was like, what's this DAP thing? And then the prices for DAP start from like 30 kwacha or something. They're starting at 30 kwacha that day. So obviously their mind is going to be towards DAP than your products that you're selling at 50, you know? So that's how, there's just a guy who came, conductor. I told him, Nyakazi. He's like, Wana. He just went through, checked. He saw this denim jacket. He liked it. He was like, me, I'll be wearing the same thing.
Yeah.
He even bought it just then. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was shocked. And then I went to the other side of Garden. That's near Chaisa. I went to park the car there. Like, that's the hood, not even where I parked the first time. You know what I mean? I feel like the living conditions are even better than where I actually went.
Yeah.
Where I went there, you know, people literally sell things for 20 kwacha, 15 kwacha, and then I went there with 50 kwacha. Everyone was just looking at me, and I was back there for like an hour, you know, nothing happened. So I just went back home, and then that lady who got them from Zaf,
Yeah.
she was like, oh, I might need some again. So that's how after lunch there, I went, gave her some, and then I went along Kalingalinga, the Ali Kingata road there, and then there's another lady who used to sell thrift. That's how she got majority from me. Like not everything, but she got like, let's say 15 or something.
Yeah.
And then I was happy. I was like, okay, cool. But it wasn't a good price. It was just to, you know, thing where you know you've made a loss, but you just wanna get the stuff off your chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was selling them. The price went down to 35 for her. She got those. And then there's another lady in Tendere. I took some. She only bought 3. And then there's a friend of mine, some girl who used to sell thrift. So I called her. I was like, I'm selling these jackets. And she was like, okay, when I come to Lusaka, I'll see. I'll buy. You know. So like, I waited on her. I was like, oh, when will you be coming? Should I save them for you? You know, because I just wanted those things out of my hands.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, that didn't work like that. I have to see what I actually like and what my customers will accommodate. You know what I mean? That's how, yeah. So that because of the whole online learning, she never really came because she was from Kawi.
Yeah.
You know, so she was like, for me, I'll only be coming in later. So I was like, okay, no, I can't wait for her. So that's how I went to Soweto the next morning. I went to park there. I tried to set up by Soweto. It was crazy. Firstly, where I parked there, the guys tried to threaten me in the morning, like, get your stuff out of here because you know, you know,
territorial.
Exactly. So that's how one of the guys who was selling some stuff, I was like, just come, it's fine. You can set up near me. You get what I mean? You can set up near me. I think for me, I don't really know I'm not fluent in the native language.
Yeah.
You know, so it's something where, you know, I wasn't speaking. People were just passing, you know, and everyone else is shouting, hey, come and buy, hey, what in the native language, come and buy, you know, this price. Me, I'm just quiet, I'm standing by my goods. So the guy was like, come here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're supposed to pay these young boys to start shouting for you. You get what I mean? That's how one of the boys came. And then started shouting. But my price was too high. It was too high. So I think I only sold one, and I was there from like 6:30. In fact, 6 hours. I set up at 6:30. And 7:30 people started trying to open their shops. I was already out of the place because nothing was happening. You know what I mean? That's why I just went back home. And then I kept on just you know, visitors come home, you sell, you know, and then with the remaining, I think I remained with like 13. I was just like, I'll just give them away. I'll just take this as a loss and I'll give them away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I did. And then, you know, in the moment, I was wondering why all that happened to me. You know what I mean? Like, why is this happening to me? You know, you think, you know, maybe it's a curse or whatever, but like, you know, coming to think of it now, it's like, you know, I was being prepared. You know, like I was being groomed on how to sell to different types of people.
Yeah.
And even just removing that shyness of, you know, of reaching out to people to buy your products. Because right now, if someone wants to give me some, bro, like, I'll sell anything to anyone. Like, I won't even feel shy, like, oh, no, but what, like, bruh, I have to, I mean, that's my source of income, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, in you know, in the moment, I was like, why is this happening to me? But like, I mean, there are always lessons in every down moment in our life. It's just in the moment we don't see it, but like, you come to appreciate it later.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think that's been my journey. Yeah.
Wow, Chile. I think for me, I appreciate you breaking it down, you know, holistically, giving us a picture of what you went through. I think with the advent of social media, when you see someone online, automatically you're like, okay, Chile has it easy, maybe because it's coming from privilege, yeah? But I think you just telling the public what you've been through and all the ebbs and flows, it shows that you're a human being that's really gotten a product out of your hard work and sweat, right? Seeing this person who did law, and bro, like your story is inspiring. I think I tell this to Ben every single time. Yeah, a person that's an advocate of the High Court, like you've been admitted to the bar, right? You did law in school, and we're living in a culture where Zambia, it's a paper or nothing. You get me? So automatically, you're wired to think what my degree is what my job will be, and that will be my source of income. That's like your trajectory of thought as a young person, and then seeing you've diverted, quite right, you represent yourself as a lawyer by profession, right? But you've diverted into entrepreneurship, and it's not only clothes and branding. You've gone into branding houses, and dude, like what's crazy is it's not that you went to school for that. It's that you taught yourself and learned that, bro. Like I think we have to take a moment and just appreciate you for that, because it's not easy. As we speak it, people might think like, okay, it's light work, but it isn't, right? Learning Photoshop is not easy. If it was, everybody would be designing. You know what I mean? Having CMA as a prestigious brand, it's not easy. And there's something that you've put out there that I want to emphasize, and it's that I took away the shyness because this mattered to me. And I think that's one thing that us as young people, we don't have a lot of times, because every single time someone has an idea, it's always about the naysayers, like how will I look to that hand? Is this fit cool enough? Should I start this podcast? Am I eloquent enough? It's always secondary and not primary. And bro, like I'm really impressed. You get what I mean? I'm really impressed, and I hope other people out there are inspired, you know. But boiling it down to my point, Chile, lawyer, right? Entrepreneur, risk. Is it that you're privileged or you work hard? Let's get that out of the way.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. I feel like okay, around privilege, right? It's not. It's what can I say? I am privileged. I won't lie, because I mean, my parents took me to school, obviously. Right? And you know, of school, that's where you get this knowledge to even have this, like this drive, you know, to one, like you want to know how to handle money, you know. Well, that's how I feel like education is the foundation. So the fact that my parents provided education for me, I feel like I'm privileged. You know what I mean? So because without education, even my business is not going to be around. You know. So I am privileged, and let's say even around funding and all that stuff, I feel like I'm privileged, but to some extent, you get what I mean? Because I feel like my drive, you know, is what's put me where I am. You know, so I can just say I'm privileged to an extent. Because I mean, my parents have seen me work hard, and that's why it's easy for them to trust me with even money that they want to give me, or even just other people that would want to say, because I have people that actually reach out to me, bro, can I invest, you know, and all that stuff. I mean, for people to see that, it's not because they say, oh, Chile comes from privilege. It's because of the drive. Exactly.
You built a reputation.
So I mean, I can say it's a bit of both. So I think that's what I would say.
That's a good answer, bro. That's a good answer. I think it's important for people to know that, like, there's this thin line between privilege and hard work. I think my older brother always tells me, like, I can get you a job, but it's up to you to keep it. You know what I mean? Like, I can do anything to get you a job, to get you an opportunity, but whether you stay there or not, it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you.
No, that's really nice. I like how you've broken down your story all the way from from the beginning and where to the point where we ended. And just to circle back a bit to some of the points there, you know, like you doing the printing and branding for people, and you being able to talk to people. I remember, I think one thing I like about you is you're able to engage and learn, and also ask people what they would want. I remember the time you were doing the t-shirts. You asked me, I was like, bro, this is what I have. And one thing I like about myself also is that I'll tell you, to say, I think for me, Travis Scott, not my kind of guy, this. And I remember telling you to say, I love guitars, and you told me to say, you find something and send it to me, then we can have that printed. And then the time I got back to you, it was already too late because you told me he had stopped doing the printing. Yeah. But I want to ask you this because you're saying you learn certain things from that, and you're saying you're able to sell something, right? So it means it's not the product, but it's the something that's holding you as a foundation. So what I'd like to ask is, what attributes have you learned that are able to push you and survive in everything? So it means there's certain things like discipline that you've learned, how to acquire knowledge, and So I'd like to find out from you, what attributes do you think you have that have helped you be who you are right now?
I feel like what's paramount is listening to the customer. Right? You have to know what the people want, because you can't force something, to people like, oh, buy this if they don't need it. Like, it like, okay, I know it's somehow contradicting what I said initially. But it's something where you have to know what the customers want. You know what I mean? So it's a situation where, let's say, I'll give an example. I know that you guys like to look good. When you dress up, you want to look good. You know what I mean? So I've got accessories, and that's why when you come to my shop, I will tell you, like, guys, this will look good on you. You understand? Even if it's food, right? You guys know you have to eat every day. So like, if I, let's say, own a Nando's franchise or Hungry Lion, and let's say you guys you want to eat Nando's because it's not deep fried or whatever, I'll tell you, you guys are hungry, just eat fried chicken. It's fine. You know what I mean? So it's like, I already know there's something that you guys already need. Exactly. So like, me convincing you to like buy what I have, it's not going to be hard. You know what I mean? So you just have to know what your customers need or want. Something that it has to be hovering. You know what I mean? So it should be there.
And then you take
advantage
of it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I feel like listening, know what your customers want. One. Two, I feel like you also have to be good at the customer service. I feel like one thing that I also learned in the early days was how to talk to people. You know what I mean? Because I mean, if you tell me, I don't want this, or send me how, let's say you tell me you don't like the way the guitar looks, right? Or send me something else. I go to Photoshop, I do it again, maybe I do it 3 times. You know what I mean? And then you're not decided yet. I shouldn't get frustrated as a business owner, like, wasting my time. You know what I mean? I have to be patient with you, because at the end of the day, of you getting settled and you deciding, that's what's gonna pay me. So like, knowing how to deal with customers, it taught me to, it made me know how to deal with customers, and I feel like just the whole customer service experience, that you have to provide, it's taught me that, and that's something that I keep on telling all my employees. You know what I mean? And I won't say my employees, but my team. It's something that I keep on teaching them, and at the end of the day, maybe they might have their what can I say? They might not have it all together, but like, I keep on reminding them that without the customers, we won't have our jobs, we won't have this business.
True.
You know what I mean? So I feel like those are paramount. And then away from the customer now, it's managing money. I won't even lie to you, I'll be very 100% honest with you. When the business started, when the money used to come at first, because I mean, yes, true, in uni, like on a Black Friday day, you're doing like 20,000-30,000 a day. It's like, what? Like, you know what I mean? So like, you look at that money and you're like, back then, and I had, my girl, because we were together at the time, So like, when you receive that money, and let's say we're business partners, so it's like, let's go to this fancy apartment, let's go chill, So like, the money was coming and going to those things. And then now when people start saying, oh, I need this, and then you don't have it in stock, it's like, you don't have the money to...
It's counterproductive.
Exactly. You don't have the money to buy the stock again. So you have to start from zero again. Looking for money, we learned the hard way because we're in situations where we're getting stranded. Like I think 3 times. Like I remember it was 3 times. It happened 3 times. So that's how we started learning how to like govern ourselves.
Yeah.
How the money should be rotating. When is the right time to actually use the money? All that stuff. And yeah, I feel like managing money is very important because it keeps you in business. And yeah, the good thing is that we learned it early because by 2021, when we actually decided to start having modules and all that stuff, I feel like when we reached that point, we were able to manage money. Right? We were able to manage money, and that's why we used to have these big shoots where you're getting Niva, to do your shoots.
Yeah.
You're moving different places. Obviously, it's around favors from friends also, but like you're also spending still. You have to feed the guys on the
community.
Exactly. So that's money, and you go to work the next day, and you still have to have money to like run the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's managing money is very key. We recently faced an issue around that, but it wasn't with regards to reckless spending. It was around, I think it's been around products now. There are products that are best selling, and then there's also that urge to try new products because you're trying to bring new products for people to test. You understand? So it's like you overinvest into bringing new products that you want people to like just for diversity and all that stuff, and then the best-selling product you're slacking on like the on it being available because you've pushed the money into
the money.
exactly. So yeah, I feel like it's like every day you learn something new. So like right now we have our winning products, right? And we know no matter what, we have to keep on stocking these. You know what I mean? Like people always come back for these. So even the rate at which we're expanding to like increase the different types of products that we have, it's not really high. We don't really rush to it. You know what I mean? We just told ourselves, every quarter we should try to bring, let's say, 20 new products. You know what I mean? We shouldn't rush like, every time someone says, oh no, we should try to bring this, and you jump on that because this person said this. Because we used to do that, and then you find those same products that people will say, no, this will go, no, I'll buy this. They're not even buying because it's seasonal. One thing you have to understand is that trends come and go.
Yeah.
And it's just that Crocs have stayed. I mean, they're comfortable. But the first time I saw Crocs, I was just like, I'm not buying this. You know what I mean? And I thought it was just one of those trends. But like, it stayed, and people are now, you have white, next thing you want black. Next thing you want what, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's now become that product, you know what I mean? But like, when you deal with, let's say, accessories, it's something where, or even, I think for ladies with clothing, it's the same thing. Find some dresses are trendy now, next thing, no, they are no longer trendy, so it's like you buy stock and then trend just dies. What do you do with that stock? It's not dead stock, no one's going to buy.
No.
So it's something where, we balance that thing now, so it's like there's always something you're learning. So I wouldn't like to answer your question. I've just laid down the 3 things: money management, knowing your customer, knowing what your customer wants. You know what I mean? And I feel like so far that's what I've learned. Next time you call me on the podcast, I'll give you maybe 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's learning every time. So yeah.
You know what's so amazing about you, Chile? No, of course we're friends. And I know you're looking at me like what's so amazing about you and everything is how there's learning at the center of what you're doing. Let me circle back, when you say focus on the customer, because I'm in a customer-centric profession, right? Focusing on a customer involves reviews. It's unlearning and learning. When you're thinking this sort of product will work and you're adamant about it, you won't satisfy the customer. So you also have to have that mentality of saying this might not work. So meaning you have to unlearn what you've already established as a guideline for that particular season, right? That's number one, your ability to learn. Then number two, it's your drive, man. Like coupled with the learning, you're just driven, man, and you've got this niche for quality. Cause bro, like when you're rocking CM, it's like a prestigious brand. I was at an event with a friend of mine. That was last month. I think 2 months ago. It was a full market, and I was there, and I was just telling my friend, like, every guy that I see was rocking like CM shirts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like that's luxurious. Like now, if you're not rocking CM, it's like, what are you wearing? You know, and that's amazing. You know, there's that drive that's so focused on value. And even your Airbnb, when I looked at your reel, brother, I'm like, these, like, it's worth it. Like, you can pay these dollars for these apartments, you know. And I want to tap from you and extend this to Zambia and also global people that are watching. Chile, like, what's your advice to young people? Because maybe someone will look at you and think you're old. Guys, Chile is a young. He's not big. He's not big. We're in the same age range as a friend group. You get what I mean? And he's a young person. So, what's your advice to young people looking at social media, looking at the advent of all these things that are harming young people? What's your advice to a young creative who has an idea to be a business person and they're battling with how to do it?
Okay, so one thing I'd say, firstly, put God first, right?
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, put God first. Even when ideas come, not every idea that comes to you is like from God.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Some are there just to
Destroy.
destroy you, or even just delay you. You get what I mean? Exactly, and that's one thing that I've come to realize. Yeah, so put God first, yeah, and then have faith. You know what I mean? Have faith. Believe that whatever you have been called to do is going to work. You have to believe, even though it looks like it won't work.
Yeah.
Just believe, because I mean, there's a reason why God has called you for it. I remember the other time I met Benia, I was basically telling him that, you know, the way faith works, it's like, you know, these roads in the bush. You know, the roads are like, you know, it's just like grass has finished. You know, it's like goes this side, you know, etc. So the road only keeps on being seen when you move.
The more you move, yeah.
Exactly. So when you're looking from outside, it's like you can't see exactly. There's no road, but the more you move, it's like, you know, it's going this side now, turns this side. You know, so that's the type of faith that you're supposed to have, and that also goes to you starting. So like, just start, everything open up when you start. When you start, you know, the route, like from here, like let's say if we're going to Miracle Life, the route to Miracle Life, there's Kablonga Road. You know, there is the one near Mika Hotel, Mika Hotel here. You know, and even when you get there, you can pass through East Park, you can pass through Chadley, you know, etc. There's so many routes, but you
all
know,
of us are
exactly, exactly. You know, there's the destination that we're all going to reach at eventually. So don't judge the road. So you find your route might be longer, and you see your friend getting there quicker, and he posts on socials like, oh, I've gotten this, and then you feel this is the wrong road, and then you start going back to where you started from, so that you can follow his road, but you're delaying your process, because you're going to arrive there eventually. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like, and don't feel like you're competing with people. You just plan to be better than you were the previous day. Because that's very important. Because if you compete with people, I mean, you always be feeling sad, like, you know, like things are going well for them, but for me, what's happening?
To me? Yeah.
Don't take social media
As the truth.
Use it as a tool to amplify your business. I don't use social media to consume. I use it to give out. That's what I use. That's what I use social media for. The only things I consume are, let's say, maybe some podcast quotes, and also maybe business ideas. Just see what's trending also, so that I can know what
To market.
yeah, exactly. You know. but I don't consume like, oh, there's beef between this one and this one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for me, I use social media just to like, you know. So if I find when people are complaining about social media, like, no, it's bad. Like for me, there's a way I use it, and for me, it's worked exactly. You know, so
amazing.
Yeah, and I feel like just starting, you know, just start, have faith, and believe. That's all. I think that's all I'll say. And just always be creative. Don't stay on the same position. Just, you know, be creative.
Nice.
I really love that you've tapped into putting God as the center, right? And there's something that the scriptures tell us, like in the Bible, you hear the Bible telling us to say God blesses the works of your hands.
Yeah.
That means if you don't put your hands to work, there's no blessing there. You know, and I like your analogy of faith to say faith is like a pathless route that you're watching from the outside.
Yeah.
And until you enter, you won't find the path. You get it, I mean? And I think that's an important highlight for young people. So what we do here as Voices and Choices, we love to highlight important nuggets from what you've stated. So Benny will highlight too, and I also highlight too.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway from Chile?
No, I think Chile has been talking about a lot of things right now because there's so many things that I still want to add on to learn from. It's like in your explanation, you're laying it down so well that everybody can listen and learn. And I like that, man. And it's nice to see where you've come from and where you're at now. You know, being the man that you are right now, the guy who's speaking to us right now is different from the Chile we knew maybe 3, 4, even 10 years back, right? And it's nice, and I'm privileged right now to be in the space and being able to interview right now.
Bro.
You know,
Privileged.
and it's really nice that you've centered learning. You know, being able to learn is something that most of us are not keen in doing. We're so good at taking the downside. It's like we enjoy being in the misery. We were scammed. You know,
that is it.
You know, we're unfortunate and stuff like that. But you picked it from there. It's like, oh, I've got the guts to go ask mom and dad to say this is what I want to do. You learned from that. You went on and you're like, okay, I got the wrong product. What am I learning from this? Selling. You know, being able to relate to people and all that stuff. And I like that you're picking that from misery. You know?
I think for me, on top of what Ben has said, it's the resilience. Because it's one thing to fail, but it's another to bounce back from failure. We hear a lot of business moguls say it's not how you fail, it's how you interpret the failure. And that's what I see from even you as a young person. In Chile, look, the reason we're bringing young people, last episode 1 we brought a girl called Muma. She's also into interior designing, you know, and at the center of why we're bringing young people here is so that we change the narrative around young people in Zambia. We don't want people to look at you, Chile, and just think it was an automatic thing. You get it, I mean? It skyrocketed, CM skyrocketed from nothingness to this thing, forgetting the in-between. You get it, I mean? We don't want people to forget the aspect that there's a young person out there that's really, really working hard to drive. Because I see what you're doing, dude, to have interior design. Some of us have the privilege of seeing what you're doing in the background. We'll see you hold the cement. You get it, I mean? But people will just see the output, and you hear people in passing say, Chile is privileged and he's your friend. But then you can't argue that, you get it, I mean? And that's why we brought you here. So that if there's a person out there that's thinking like CMA is a privileged brand, today they'll see that it isn't. There's a man who's working behind the brand, and that's really amazing.
No, I like that we're talking about this, man. And there's something, I know you said, know your products, like know your customers' product, like know what they want. So I want to bring something to your attention. You know, I think it's something we haven't addressed. But I remember the time you came in with the hoodies. Those made noise. I was like, and I remember I was talking to the guys. I think at that time I think it was in the final year of CD. And they're like, I know Chile is my boy, but there's no one I'm buying a hoodie for 1,000 plus. I'm like,
you were snapping.
I was like, what's happening? You know? But after some time, I started back and I thought, it was like, there's something he's trying to achieve. There should be a strategy and a goal attached to this. So I just want to understand what your thought process was
at that time.
And bringing a hoodie at that price.
Okay, for me, I'll
Yeah.
be very honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so pricing has always been something that I haven't been good at.
Yeah.
Like pricing,
Yeah.
bro. Pricing, I'm bad at pricing because it's like I want everyone to wear my clothes, but again, I want a few people to like I want it to be appreciated by and in fact, I want it to be appreciated by everyone, but worn by a few.
I get you.
You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's that thing where if you're too expensive, it's like not everyone is gonna, you know.
But
Exactly, and then if you're affordable, it's like everyone will buy, but like the people at the top will be like, everyone's buying it. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Mr. Price or whatever.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
know, like that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
people used to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically the thing. So when I was starting I was looking not only at the major the investment that was put in, but also like creativity and all that. And I just thought, you know, like it will make noise if I make it, you know, pricey. So yeah, I decided to do that because I mean, you're better off starting with high prices, and then if it doesn't work, you can say, oh, okay, sell.
I'm gonna sell.
But you can't start off with cheap prices and say, oh,
let's go to high.
yeah, like just now, you know, like even Hungry Lion, bro, like Big Bite 2 started, it was below 20 guys when we were young, and now it's like what, 64 or something.
Yeah, 60,
Yeah, exactly. But you know, it's been over the years, and I mean, from the time they actually started, and now it's been over, let's just say, 10, 12 years. For me, I wasn't looking at like the longevity game. It was more of like short term. You know what I mean? So that's why I decided to start high. And yeah, it made noise. The marketing did itself. And you know, at the time, the people that felt like I've got money, I'm sure people have got money, they bought.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I posted that thing at night, and I remember there was a girl from Copper Belt. I think her name was Whoopi. I can never forget that because I mean, yeah, she was the first customer. She bought a hoodie, bro.
Yeah.
I think it was $85 at the time. It was 2 pin something. She bought it. It is. You know what I mean? So I was just like, oh, okay. So it's my price is okay.
Yeah.
So like even the next day on Twitter when people were talking, I was like,
That's what I loved about it.
Like, you know, I was laughing at the comments, you know what I mean? Everything, I was just laughing because I was just like, someone bought what they guys said.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I feel like that's why that girl, you know, if that girl had never bought that, I think when people were talking on Twitter, I was going to feel low, I was going to feel, you know, but her purchase just changed everything, and that's why I'll never forget her.
Yeah.
And then after that, I had other people coming through to buy and it just showed me, you know, like, you know, people are good. Obviously now after that, it showed me that people want to support the brand. It's just, you know, my prices were too high, so I had to find ways of like cutting down. Exactly. And yeah, and now I've actually seen that people want to support, and it's just like the pricing, you know what I mean? So of these t-shirts, these t-shirts were actually an experiment, you know what I mean? They're actually an experiment in that I was trying to be affordable and encourage people to buy more. So it's like the more you buy, the cheaper it becomes.
Yeah.
And these t-shirts finish like so quick.
Yeah.
You know, like everything. You know how usually when you buy, like for me who sells clothes, I know if I'm buying clothes, right? There'll be some sizes that will finish first, and then there'll be some sizes that won't even finish, like you know, they won't go. But like everything finished. So it's just opened my eyes to like expansion of the brand. So it's a situation right now. From these teas, we never made any money. It was just an experiment. It was a social experiment.
Yeah.
So it's a thing where we're just trying to get insight on whether people actually really support the brand. So of this now, it's opened our eyes to the fact that okay, let's buy machinery, start making the teas here and everything. It will take time before we can actually reach the perfect specifications, but it's cheaper in the long run, and we're willing to teach people how to make these teas.
Yeah.
Like employ a team that can actually manage making the teas, and also at least they can accommodate the Zambian market.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that's basically it. And one other thing that I would tell someone who's starting out, try to partner. Partnerships are good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a relationship. If a partnership doesn't work, right, try another one.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like because maybe your we all have that maybe that one auntie or uncle and their marriage is just failed to it. But you
Yeah.
won't look at them and say, because of them I'll never get married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how you also take partnerships, because there's some people that are destiny helpers in your life. And if you just close the fact or you close your eyes to partnerships, you're never really gonna get to what God's been calling you for. Because everyone's got purpose in this,
Yeah,
this world. Everyone's got, something. Because if God forbid I was dead, there will never be anyone like me. There will be someone who's similar but like maybe better, or someone who just lacks something that I have. You know, everyone is distinct. So just partnerships do work, and it's partner up with people. That's the only way you expand. But the problem that we have in Zambia is you want I'm the boss, I own this alone. You know what I mean? I own it just what you have that title, like, it's you alone. But it doesn't make sense to be a sole owner and the net worth is like 100,000 kwacha. You know, when you can be a part owner and your net worth is like 1 billion kwacha. Look at Bill Gates, look at all these big moguls, you know, like they don't own their businesses alone. Fair, maybe the stake that they own is majority, but it's like 5%. You get what I mean? Because they accommodate partnerships. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that. I love that you've spoken about purpose, which is, for me, I consider that something that's very vital, because at the center of every successful thing is knowing what the intention is. And like you rightfully put it, each individual, like even myself and Benny, yourself included, there's a fingerprint that we have that has been given by God. He alone knows the plans for us. He alone builds us. Like you said, Chile, you can, God forbid, something happens to you today. There's nobody that can do it like Chile. And true to your word, there have been brands in Lusaka that have come. Like I've heard a couple of brands that I can't name drop.
Yeah.
But then they came in passing. But CM is still there because you have that niche and you're tapping into your purpose. So I just wanted to add to that while we're speaking to even the listeners. I think it's important to stay in your lane. I'll give an example of Benny and I. Like Benny and I have been passionate about like speaking and hosting a podcast, but every single time we would always come up with excuses like, I know we don't have this, we don't have that. But then when we sat down, we don't have guests, right? But then when we sat down, we're like you've said, community is important, partnership.
Yeah.
You Chile, when you drop a product, you can call me, you know I'm coming,
Yes,
whether I'm
exactly,
broke or not,
exactly.
you know I'm going to
That's
come.
true,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like we sat down with Benny and we're like, dude, look at our network. Like we've got family that have valuable stories, and if we call them, they'll come. Yeah, an example, you're here. But people out there, like you're Chile, you get it?
Exactly.
But you've created time for us because you're community, and I think that's important for young people to understand, that it's important to stay in your lane, and it's important to have community, and it's important to go back to God because He's the author and finisher of what your purpose is.
Yeah.
Without Him, everything is pointless, even this that we're doing.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what we were talking about with Mumba. At the center of what Chile is doing, it's the motivation. It's a motivation for quality branding, you get it, I mean? And that's very important, you know, that's very important.
Nice.
It's very important.
You know, it's going well, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Are
enjoying
you
this.
comfortable, Chile?
Yeah,
I always
I
ask
am,
this.
yeah.
I'm enjoying this.
That's good.
I feel at home.
Yeah. You know, there's so many parts of your life to pick from.
Yeah.
And I feel like we might not even have the time to get everything. So we definitely have a part 2 with this.
Yeah, we
But
definitely
and
have
what's still going? What's still going? Yeah.
What's the way?
But I want to bring out something that maybe other people haven't had the opportunity to see.
Okay.
And I feel for me it's something huge. Because I know Chile from back in the day and the Chile now. Bro, the transition was something that got me off guard. I was like, how? You know, because I knew the Chile then. You know, I don't know how do you put yourself in that mental space to say, okay, I have to change.
Mhm.
I need to have this discipline because, and right now it's a bit sensitive to talk about people's weight and all that stuff, but you're my guy.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh boy.
Yeah,
yeah.
like Chile was big,
Yeah.
and maybe other people haven't had the opportunity to see that big
Yeah,
Chile.
Yeah.
But I just want to understand to say, is it something that happened gradually, or maybe you just woke up and was like, you know what, this can be. Or what pushed you to that transition? Because for me, I'm really like I'm proud to see it happen, and I was so amazed. I was like,
Is everything okay?
you know,
I'm depressed. And I remember you showed me, were we in school at that time?
yeah,
I think Benny came to my room and he's like, oh look at my boy, like he came from this to this. And then me by then I'm like, I don't know. What's cutting? Yeah.
I love the fact that you took time to tell people about it, because obviously other people are afraid to bring out certain things like this. But for you, laid it down nice. I think that was Instagram, or should have been Instagram. I still have the screenshot somewhere on my laptop because it's inspiring. It's like, Chile did this.
Yeah.
But I just want to understand how that process was and how it has helped you till now.
Okay, so like I'll speak about before, during, and I'll speak about it now. And so before, right?
Yeah.
What actually caused that is I went to my cousin's house. So he's with a pool, so we're having a bride there. So I was swimming. So me, I was careless in the way I was swimming, right?
Yeah.
So water entered my ear, and it was like blocked for like 3 days. Like the water was just like being held, and then I had to go to the hospital. That's how I went with my mom, So we went there, and then at the hospital they have to do those checks, weight, BP, what. So like I went there, and then the doctor was like, "Ish, how old are you?" And then I was like, "No." At the time, 2018, I was 19. So I thought I was 19. She's like, "No, you're not even married. Like, you're not even married." Oh, his doctors don't have filters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not even married. You're like this.
Hey.
You have to tone down, or else you'll die fast. You know what I mean? She told me boldly, like, you'll die fast.
Yeah.
So I was like, death. You know what I mean? That's how I just like, I have to change. Because it's been in the works. Like, I'd always say, no, I have to start toning down. Right?
Yeah.
But you find you do it for one day, you expect, you see the change in the mirror the same day, you know what I mean? And then you just give up and say, let me just go back to like the normal filter. So that's how I remember that afternoon I was going to watch videos of people that actually lost weight just to get motivation,
Yeah.
And I saw videos, I was like, I'm starting this. So I had my last meal. I remember my last meal before I actually started my journey was some KFC. I had the KFC. I had the KFC, and then after that, I'm like, I'm going to get groceries because I was at uni.
Yeah.
I'm going to get groceries. I got green vegetable. I just got greens like lettuce, that stuff. Eggs. I bought a lot of trays because eggs are very essential for protein and toning and all that stuff. Got eggs, cut out sugar, all sweet stuff, carbohydrates, everything. So just eggs, chicken, greens. That's all. And also got apples. So that's how I just started. And I ran with that thing. I couldn't see any progress first week, obviously, but it didn't stop me this time. I just felt like it's my time to now actually tone down.
Yeah.
I started jogging, it was so crazy because in the first month, right, I'll say my weight. I was 130. That's a lot. That's crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
I was 130. First month, I dropped down to 150. A month.
That's
15 kgs in 1 month.
That's
Like that was crazy because
yeah.
like when I went to the hospital, right, for like to check my weight, I was even being asked like, bruh, like what happened? You know what I mean? But obviously you couldn't see the change just like there and then because that I was really big. And then Second month, from 115, I went down to 99. And then that was the second month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that was coupled with like I was going to the gym now, so it was easy for people to now start seeing that okay, I'm now toning, like okay, there's actually muscle and all that stuff. And then I made that my lifestyle. So even when I saw results, it was actually encouraging me to actually keep on being healthy. And I remember in that whole 2 months, I only had 2 cheat meals. That was Christmas Day, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there was a family cookout, so I had to indulge. So yeah, there, and also I think way before in the first month, I had we went out as a family. Yeah. Just like let me just try, but it was just rice. Kept on going to the gym. So I used to go to the gym in the morning. I was still on the diet, and then evening I go jogging. You know what I mean? 5 kilometers every day. So it became a lifestyle. If I don't go jogging, I feel like I'm not like you know, like I haven't bathed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's how
There's something missing.
So that's how it was. Even when I went back to uni, like when I went back, people were so shocked. Like, bro, are you okay? Like, you know, because people saw me big, and we opened school, I'm small. It's like, bro, are you okay? You know, and I just kept on getting smaller. And then I dropped to like 85. But the way I dropped, it was so 3 months, bro. Like 3 months, you drop from 130 to 85. Like, obviously, you know, you look weird.
Yeah. So
I was looking like my head is big, obviously my cheeks are still there and all that stuff, but like I'm small. So I had to start gaining like properly. So I started eating like brown bread, brown rice, all that stuff so that I can gain. So I because I was told for my height, that was a bit, you know. So I had to gain till like 90, 95, 96, something like that. Yeah, so I was told between 95 and 105 now, I'm okay. You know, like I'm supposed to be around that that weight, you know, and that's stable. So yeah, and even like right now, obviously people don't remember the old me.
Yeah.
And it's like people only know me now. So yeah, but I feel like it all started from there because when I lost weight, right? That's the mindset that I needed, you know, because it showed me that whatever I put my mind to, I can achieve. And for sure, bro, I didn't do any architecture, I didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? The first time I tried to do interior design, I remember I was watching a video now, it actually is, right? So there's the 3D, so there's a consultation basically, and then you go into like the 3D and all that stuff. So you show people how it's gonna look before the project. Yeah, exactly. And then now the procuring and all that stuff. But like the 3D is quite vital because, you know, people want to know what it's going to look like before they actually start buying the things. I didn't know about all that stuff. I started teaching myself. These apps these softwares that these architects use, SketchUp, you start learning how to use the 3D Max and Chaos Render, you know, all those complicated apps, bro. Like, it's so crazy. I had to teach myself, and 3 weeks, I was okay. I mean, I was able to present something. Exactly. So, you know, for me, I've always told myself, whatever I want to do, I can do it.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, so nothing is foreign to me. I feel like, but to give me something now, obviously, if I've got the passion for it, I'll learn it. You know, so
that's a mindset to have. Whatever I want to do, I can, coupled with passion and hard work. I think that's the way to go. Apologies, firstly, I think there's background noise there. Over here. We apologize for that. There's some works going on in the place that we're recording from. But we'll try as much as we can to suppress it. I think we've had a holistic view of who Chile is, what Chile Mbuta is about as a brand, and who Chile is as a person. And I think just delving into the concluding remarks, there's a segment where we allow our guests to ask ask questions about the podcast as
Mhm.
well. Yeah, so it's your flow.
It's my flow now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you.
Mm.
So, so when did you guys actually decide that, or when did it hit you that you would actually want to do this? That's the first question.
Okay.
Mm.
So with that one, obviously, my brother he is a very good speaker.
Yeah, definitely. I
It's-
mean,
He's a very, and that's something that we've known for a long time. Like
Yeah.
he's a very good
Thank
speaker.
you. Thank
Well,
you. I'm humble. Guys.
he articulates himself well.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And for me, I love talking to people. I love, bringing out good things.
Mm.
And there was this one time that Ken and I, because obviously we do talk a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, and we believe, or maybe should I say I believe?
We
believe.
Yeah.
We believe that many of the conversations that we have, if other people can listen to them, I think it will be of help.
Mm.
Okay, because I think we do tap on different topics, especially things that are revolving around us, because so many things are happening,
Yeah.
and I felt the need is like we really have to put this out. So obviously, we laid out our plan towards the end of the year, right?
Yeah, towards the end of last year.
Yeah, towards the end of last year, we planned out what we wanted to do. Yeah, I think that's why you noticed 6 months we were out. Yeah, I wanted Instagram and those things. But I think when we actually clicked, it was because we told ourselves we had to learn certain things during that period.
Yeah.
But when it actually clicked, was on a phone call. I think that should have been in February, March,
February, March.
on a phone call, and they're like, bro, we just have to do this. No more excuses, right? But for us to move from that point till right now, we had to cross over so many hurdles because we had to talk ourselves into doubt, talk out ourselves saying no, we've got this, we don't have that, and all that. But we just told ourselves like, you know what, the moment to wait for everything to come, it won't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So till we agreed, it was like, let's make it happen,
Yeah.
and we did. And from there, we will try our best to keep going, despite so many things that are holding us back from being consistent and being regular. We'll do what we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I agree with Benny. I think at the core of why we started doing this, aside from us having the passion even, it's also just noticing what podcasts are like in our country.
Yeah.
Not to shame any podcast host, right? But we feel like sometimes the presentation of what Zambia is about on some podcasts isn't the reality of what we have in the country. So out of that heartache, right, we're like, okay, look, yes, for people that want that sort of entertainment, they can go to those podcasts, right? But also for young people like us that want to learn about what our fellow young people are doing, let's create a platform for them. And we deliberated about voices and choices like a name and whatnot. And I would like to say this: what I love about my partner here is how we respect each other's strengths. When it's time to do sound, you won't see me anywhere. Not even you won't
Not
see
even
me
close.
when it's time to write stuff and do visual. You won't see Ben there. And I think that's what you talked about when it comes to collaboration.
Exactly.
And that's one thing that we've tapped into to say, Ben, yes, I know the basics such that when he's not here, I can set up, right? But I know, like, when it comes to quality sound, Ben won't allow even that Kado sound that we're hearing to be there. Yeah, he will make sure he reduces it. And that's what's been the center. We started last year, but it's been consistent ever since.
Okay. And where do you draw your inspiration from? Like, who do you look up to in the podcast industry? Like, okay, if I was to ask you guys, give me a list of, let's say 5.
Okay.
So you can name 2, 3.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're gonna share, but like,
Okay.
you know.
So for me, I'll start with Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah.
Sure, Derek, the CEO.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, he mentioned Stephen Bartlett. I'll mention there's a guy, his name is Malanda Jean Cloud. So
Okay.
Malanda is not like Stephen. Malanda is a creative.
Okay.
So even his discussions are around poetry coupled with real life. So the title of the podcast is Where to Now.
Yeah.
That's the title of the podcast.
Okay. And the other one is What Now? Trevor Noah.
Oh, okay.
I feel Trevor Noah is one guy who's smart, intelligent. The way he just articulates himself. We're like, this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe that because it's the same question that you asked me, like privilege and hard work. Like he doesn't come from the best background, South Africa and all, but like obviously he was privileged because I mean his skin, man. Like it supports him sort of. You know what I mean? But like that's hard work, like putting himself on the global stage and just him doing his thing. Yeah, so I get what you mean.
Okay, so another set of podcasts. Of course, I listen to both that Benny has mentioned, but there's a podcast that I've been listening to recently. It's Seated with Level and Tato, the South African older brother and young brother, and they're doing marvelous works in South Africa. I think those, and the last one is I listened to that Z podcast, the Civilized podcast. I've forgotten the name.
Oh yes. I listen to those.
Yeah. What's your favorite podcast?
In Zambia.
Or
just
just
generally.
in general.
Yeah, Dario Visio.
Nice.
And I feel like somehow this one by Jay Shetty.
Yeah, on purpose.
Yeah.
by Jay
So
Shetty.
I also, but I feel like Dario Visio is like.
It speaks. It
Yeah,
hits
it's like
home.
it is,
Yeah,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
It hits
It's
home.
like-
Yeah, really.
It's like really actually learn because he asks questions that like take you to the dark side of what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like quite right. We're not trying to just bring out the fancy side. You know what I mean? Like tell me what you get what I mean? Like it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. The dark side. I think we've talked about how what sorry guys, my sister was in the back. We've talked about how what was this? Stephen Bartlett brings the dark side of things. I think I have a question for you, right? It's not necessarily dark, but it's your relationship was public, as we all might know, and when it ended, of course, there were issues here, story of why it ended. But I think you and your partner,
No, sorry. I was thinking out loud.
yeah, you and your partner, like you are a team that work together and just brought this thing that we see as CMA. What's your view on relationships now, and what's like your advice to young people out there? Of course, we know you're not maestro in this area. Neither of us are, but we just want to tap into that as we are driving into concluding.
I feel like if you have a chance to love someone, love him.
Yeah.
Don't go in with it's Lusaka or whatever. Experience them. You know, like everyone has a role to play. Maybe that person that is there with you at that moment, in time is not there. Is not supposed to be there with you till the end. But they bring something. They teach you something.
Yeah.
Exactly. So. Yeah, even the brand and all, like, well, I had the privilege of, setting that up with her.
Yeah.
Obviously, and I'm grateful, So, yeah, I feel like if, as a couple, you wanna do something, just do it. Don't look at the what ifs, because you're already losing that faith that you have. If that person is like your final person, and you're having doubts, obviously, it's not going to end well. Because it's like in your mind, you're already looking at the fact that, this thing's gonna end. It just, maybe, exactly. And you might find maybe that's also your destiny, your part, If you look at, let's say, every story, right? I'll talk about the story of, Saul turned Paul, basically. So when Saul used to kill Christians, like when people hear Saul is coming, they know like it's mad. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah.
But when he changed, I've forgotten the name and I don't want to misquote things. But like there was one of the Christians that he was talking to, who he asked, can you put a good word for me? You know what I mean? Like when people ask you why you're with me or you're around me, tell them that I've changed, you know what I like I'm no longer exactly, you know, and yeah, just that person telling the people that he changed was enough, like, and that was his destiny helper. You get what I mean? Because people now looked at Paul as, oh, he's now Paul, you know what I mean? He's no longer Saul. So in our lives, there's always that one person, you know. It might not be someone that is from within yourself or someone that you're used to. It might be someone distant. It might be even your partner, you know. So yeah, like there's always, because you know, maybe I'll give it from also a corporate point of view. You know, you go for interviews, and then after the interview, let's say you get the job, and then the person after you get the job, you report. The person that has you says, I vouched for you. There's just something about you that stood out. You know what I mean? That's
Your destiny
exactly. That's one of the destiny helpers. Like they help you, and it's not like you only have one destiny helper. You know, like exactly.
Wow.
It's like every stage in your life there always be a destiny helper, because your life, you never reach, let's say, this is it moment. It's only when you die. You know what I mean? Like it's stages. So every stage you have one person that's gonna help you. You know, and that's a person who's sent to you from God. Because you know, when you pray for certain things in life, it's not like God's gonna come, oh my son, you see a hand from the sky, oh my son, here. You know what I mean? He'll bring people in your life that are going to play a certain role. And for them, maybe that's just their role. You understand? So
they're doing it deliberately.
Exactly. And so you find, you know, even when, let's say, I suggest, let's say you let's say you meet someone, and then they ask you, oh no, I'm looking for a business to buy in Zambia. Like they want to buy a business, and let's say I've gotten to a point where I want to sell my business or sell my stake in the business. You know what I mean? And then I'm desperate for it, and then you just tell him, and then he comes and says, oh, I'll buy it maybe at $1 million or $5 million. You know what I mean? That role that you have played there, that's important. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's there are always, you know, people in your, so like I mean, you go again if your destiny helper is just temporal in your life. You know, it's not like you have to cling on to them, because that was just for that season. For the next season you're going into, there'll be another person I'm going to understand. You know, and even you in your life, you know, when you give, don't look at it as you know, because maybe that was your role to be someone else's destiny.
I love how we're concluding this, because was it just like 2 days ago I was explaining the same narrative to a friend of mine. I was telling them that when I look back at my life from first year in uni, Ben will tell you, chill, I was a very quiet guy in uni. I never loved social settings, right? But I had friends in university that made it work for me, like Ben and a couple of other friends that have taken different avenues in life. I was narrating this to a friend of mine to say, from uni, going into a corporate space, I've got people that have covered me in the corporate world, right? Even starting as a podcast, starting this podcast rather, I've got people that have covered me. And I sat down because I just had this annunciation moment, and I was telling her to say, when I look back, like the hand of God has been at every point in my life, and He hasn't let me go. And it speaks into what you're saying. Like those are the destiny helpers. If I tell you how this guy became my friend, it's always a funny story. Like Ben was vocal at school, like he was social, right? And I wasn't. School closes, right? I'm at home. I've never spoken to this guy. He calls me, bro. Like imagine, right? He calls me. He's like, bro, hi. I'm like, who is this? It's Ben from class, bro. I'm like, which Ben? Like Ben, bro, Ben from chemistry. I'm like, oh, okay, Ben, hi. No, bro, I just wanted to say hi. Bro, and me, I wasn't talking to people. Then it hit me, I'm like, this guy, I don't even know him. You know, and in that moment, he taught me the importance of networking, and it's helped me ever since. And another thing that I want to speak into, something that you've highlighted, is the importance of process and that's something that we're lacking as young people.
Yeah.
There's a word that you said, and it's that if something fails, you go again, because that's part of the process. You
Yeah.
get it? I mean, you will never reach full attainment. There's no monopoly of truth. There's no monopoly of power. No one holds the monopoly of entrepreneurship. It's always a thing of faith and applying that faith. And I think, I don't know if you have anything to add.
No, I think that's very true, and as we're concluding, I think I'd just like to give you my, need to have your flowers right now.
Yeah,
To be honest with you, at times I look at you differently as being Chile, who you are, and Chile, my friend. And it always gets me, this guy is inspiring. Knowing how many years I've seen you and being what you are right now, being able to speak things into existence. Like, let's talk about the Airbnbs. Remember the time we were having that quiz?
Yes.
You said it.
Yeah.
And at that time I was off Instagram, but somebody showed me, I was like, look at the Airbnb. And I was amazed. I was like,
He said this.
he said this.
Yeah.
And looking at the quality, bro, you don't compromise on the quality, but the packaging. You're my friend, but when I get my card, I get excited.
But you're my bed. And that's what's crazy.
I keep stacking all those cards because
it's
not just because you're my friend, because I'm enjoying what I'm receiving as a customer. And bro, I know
you're destined
for greatness. And we're there to see it and tag along and do our best in what we're going to do and support.
Okay. You know, we can talk the whole day. So Chile, this last part of our segment is where we give a nugget to people. So we give a sort of advice to a young person out there who's watching. There's someone who sees Chile and they're inspired. So we'll start from. From me. But last time you ended.
I was almost started last time.
Oh, you started last time. Oh, okay, Okay, so we start from me.
Gotcha.
Okay, we'll go to Chile, then we'll go to Ben. I think for me, out of this podcast, one thing that I would just love to tell young people to do is have that mindset to learn. For those people that are into reading, you can read a book by Adam Grant. The title of the book is Think Again. So Adam Grant does this research on business moguls who have become billionaires in life, and he says the key thing that they have is their ability not to just think, the ability to rethink. Like, they can have this grand idea and they think it will work, but at the pinnacle they'll still reach and say, what else can we improve? And that's my advice to every young person: have the ability to learn and rethink.
I think for me, my advice is around patience. You know, on socials, people just post their wins, and you think it just happened, like, oh, it just started last year. And because if I was to buy, let's say, a Benz or a Django Benz today, people will be like, of accessories, it just started, like, like recently, you understand? And then they'll look at it as, oh, if I can start and within a year or less, I'll get there, but like, life doesn't work like that. You know, you always have to have patience. Like, enjoy the process. Don't wait. Don't look at, oh no, I can achieve or attain this in a shorter period. Or try to force things. Just enjoy the process. Be patient, and because there's a reason why, in the Bible, most of the parables or the stories around farmers, fishermen, because a fisherman leaves a net on the boat. They are waiting. You know what I mean? And even if you read the parables around farming, it's just like, you sow a seed and a mustard seed. That just talks about you being patient and having faith. Because a mustard seed is like exactly, and you leave it there, and you expect, one day it's gonna be, and obviously there'll be these conditions, like heavy rains, there'll be the storms, the weeds. I'll just say this: we are mustard seeds, right? Exactly, we should be patient. There'll be obstacles in our lives that will shake us and all that stuff, but like eventually we're going to blossom. We're going to reach there. You know what I mean? So just be patient, and your time will come.
Nice. So as I tap into what he's talking about, is acknowledge acknowledging the process and accepting it and also enjoying it. I think that's one thing that we have to learn and advise everybody out there to enjoy the process, because in that process is what you're going to learn. The other thing that I've picked from this podcast is start early. You know, if you make those mistakes at a very young age, it'll be very good. It'll come to play maybe in 10 years time, because you from that mistake you learn things that will help you be a better person 10 or 5 years from that. So I urge everybody to enjoy the process, and also let's start while we can and make those mistakes early, and also let's not feel shy.
Let's not feel shy. Chill as
Just go ahead. If they laugh at you, it will happen. But when you buy your house or whatever, they'll come for you.
Yeah.
Exactly. They'll come. Oh, you inspire me. How do you do it? Like,
So Chile, you are closing for us. I don't know how you close it. If it's 1, 2, 3, bye, or voices and choices. We love you. I don't know. You close it for us.
Right, you're putting me on the spot.
You're already on the spot.
You're already on the spot.
And you've done quite very well. Actually.
Yeah.
Thank you. Subscribe to Voices and Choices, and make sure you like their pages, share their content. Bye.